Hello, this is Mrs. Poland for Algebra 2. In this video, I'm going to go over a couple of problems from topic 17 on complex numbers. A complex number is a number that contains a real piece and an imaginary piece that's either added or subtracted. So in order to do complex numbers, you do need to know the I clock. So I to the 0, I to the first, I to the second, I to the cubed. I to the 0 is 1, I to the first is I to the second is -1, and I cubed is -I. Notice that the number in the 12 o'clock position and the 6 o'clock position are opposite, and in the 3 o'clock position and the 9 o'clock position, they're opposite, I and -I. However, if you set your calculator properly, you can actually get that information. So if you go home and you go to settings and document settings, make sure that that fourth item, real or complex number, is set to rectangular like it is here and hit OK. And so let me go into the current document and show you how you can type in I into your calculator. You would go to the row HIJK and go to the left to the pi. And my calculator is going haywire on me, so we'll try this again. So notice that the second is that script I. So if I do I squared, notice it's -1. If I go to the pi button and I type in I and I hit caret cubed, I get -I. If I type in I caret, let's see, 23, notice it gives me -1. So this is very helpful as long as there's no other variable. Okay, so in this video, I'm specifically going to go over problems 2, 3, and 4. So we're asked to place the following expression into a plus bi form. That's a detail that you really need to pay attention to. And it's important to follow order of operations. So there's nothing outside that first parenthesis. So for that first quantity, I'm just going to rewrite it. But the second quantity, we're taking that item and we're squaring it. So I'm going to just write the expression twice. And that last one, notice I'm not squaring it. So I can distribute that negative right away, which I'm going to do, minus 4i minus 2x squared. And I'm going to expand that, but I'm going to rewrite that first expression. It's really important to do all this work. And I'm double distributing. X times x is x squared. X times -2i is -2ix. -2i times x is -2xi again. And -2i times -2i is positive 4i squared. I know I squared is -1, so we're going to take that into account in a few minutes. So I'm going to combine like terms. So I have x squared and -2x squared. So x squared minus 2x squared is -x squared. I have -2xi and -2xi is -4xi. I have -4, because this expression simplifies to -4. 7 minus 4 is +3. Okay, that takes care of that. And I have -3i. I think I took care of this, right? combine them. I guess I shouldn't cross them out. I just combine them. Negative 4i and negative 3i is negative 7i. Okay, now what do I do from here? So when you look at the choices, none of them match, but you can rearrange so the the real piece is separate from the I piece. And that's what they had done. So let me get back to this. So they went 3 minus x squared. We call that the real piece because there's no I here. And then plus, they combined the negative 4xi minus 7i. Then what they did is they factored out the negative 4 and the I. So they got 3 minus x squared minus I times 4x plus 7. And they just rearranged where that I is. So it's 3 minus x squared minus 4x plus 7i. And so when we look at the choices, we have to be careful. 3 minus x squared minus 4x plus I. Okay, so that was like a very challenging problem. Okay, which expression is equivalent to this? Okay, so we're going on to 3. So this is 2x minus I squared minus 2x minus I times 2x plus 3i. And I'm going to do this problem two different ways. I'm going to first do it the long way. So the long way, what you would do is you would expand this out. And we're going to end up multiplying it. We just have to be really, really careful because of that negative sign. You can't distribute that negative sign first. You have to follow order of operations. So this is 4x squared minus 2xi minus 2xi plus I squared minus, now we're going to multiply that out, 4x squared minus 2xi plus 6xi minus 3i squared. Okay, this becomes 4x squared minus 4xi, and I squared we know is negative 1, minus, let's simplify the inside of this first, 4x squared plus 4xi, right? We combine these two. And again, I squared is equal to negative 1, and then we multiply the negative 3 and the negative 1 together to get plus 3. Now we go ahead and distribute, and we get 4x squared minus 4xi minus 1 minus 4x squared minus 4xi minus 3. Okay, we're getting there. Now we combine like terms, so the 4x squared and the negative 4x squared cancel, and then you get negative 4xi minus 4xi is negative 8xi. Negative 1 and minus 3 is negative 4. And so they just rearrange those terms, so they get negative 4 minus 8xi. And I'm going to make a video of number 4 separately, but I will show you how you could have done number 3 differently. So the method 2 for this, you can go ahead and notice how there's this common factor of 2xi and 2xy here. What you could have done is factored it out. So 2x minus I. And then if you do that, you're left with bracket 1 of the 2x minus i's minus parentheses. This one I factored out, so I'm left with 2x plus 3i. So now we're going to distribute that negative, and we get 2x minus I minus 2x minus 3i. The 2x's cancel, and the negative I and the negative 3i combine together. So you get 2x minus I times negative 4i. And now you can distribute to get negative 8xi plus 4i squared. Okay, so that's negative 8xi minus, because I squared we know is negative 1, right? And now you're multiplying the 4 times negative 1 to get negative 4. And again, they just rearranged the answers. And so notice that is choice 1, and we did it 2 different ways. The first method is a little more straightforward, but a lot more work. The second one, you did have to notice that there was a common binomial and factor it out. So either method works, and I will see you tomorrow.